Hey mamas, and welcome to the Entering Motherhood podcast. This is your one-stop go-to place for getting you from feeling drained, exhausted, and unfulfilled in motherhood to feeling more energized, organized, and accomplished. That's the vision I continue to navigate towards, and that's the vision we are sharing with you, focusing on holistic alternatives and restructuring your mind, body, and soul from the inside out. I'm your host, Sarah Marie Bilger, a wife, mom of two, mechanical engineer, VBAC mom, and doula, serving mamas through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. If you're here for this, if you're as pumped up as I am and searching for that fire that you know is deep inside of you, then let's go. Let's uncover what it truly means to enter motherhood. You are a rock star. I believe in you. Let's doula this. Let's crank it up a notch and let's kick it into high gear together. Hey mamas, how are you? Happy Monday. I am so excited to bring this episode to you today. This is with Dr. Kristin Marlowe, and she is actually a local chiropractic here in the Greenville, South Carolina area. And what's really unique about her is she is just so passionate about chiropractic care and going well beyond the Webster technique, which maybe many of you know about when it comes to pregnancy. And really just she is super passionate about what she does and how she cares for moms and her ability to do mobile visits. So she actually can do in-home visits as well. And she is super passionate about the community and really bringing everybody together. And she has actually initiated and started this really awesome directory for doulas in the area called the Doula Diaries, which is recorded over on YouTube, and you can look at how she has interviewed some of us local doulas to really get an understanding for what we're like and what kind of services we have, which is really cool. So I will link all of that in the show notes, and I really hope you enjoy this episode because we dive into her own personal journey. She is a mom herself, and really her journey of chiropractic care and how she is always continuously growing and continuously learning and really just living out her life, serving moms and caring for her family and doing it all in a really amazing way. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello and welcome to Entering Motherhood. I am so excited to have you here today and get this conversation started. So how about you go ahead and introduce yourself for our listeners?
Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your podcast. I'm so excited to be featured. My name is Dr. Kristin Marlowe. I'm the owner and chiropractor at Mobile Mama Chiropractic. So as the name says, mobile, I do house calls. And I also have a space inside of Celestial Midwifery, the birth center located in Greer, South Carolina. I'm a perinatal and family chiropractor. I love chiropractic. It is so incredible for your health and making sure that your body is functioning the way that it was intended to. I am the mom of two little boys, and I absolutely love living in Upstate South Carolina.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your experience of entering motherhood and what that was like.
So much fun to reflect on that. So I am an only child. I did not grow up around a lot of other children. I had two cousins that I saw occasionally, so I was not involved in having babies everywhere when I was little. Babies were really foreign to me. My mom told me, I told her, I'm never going to have kids. I don't want kids. They're annoying, I guess is what I told her. So then I got married and started chiropractic school, and we decided having two little boys during school was going to be a great idea. So being in chiropractic, you're naturally exposed to a more holistic way of living. And I wanted to go the midwife route. And my experience with being pregnant was, in America, all you hear about is how painful and scary and terrible it is. And it's just awful after that, and your life is done, basically. And I was confused because throughout both of my pregnancies, they were really easy. I was still able to be really active. Of course, there's some like pregnancy aches and pains that come along with it, but it was nothing that prohibited me from doing everything that I was able to do. And I attribute enjoying so much of my pregnancy to chiropractic because life was normal. I was still in school. I did not have to stop going to school or stop adjusting people or stop doing anything. Of course, you can scale back as what's appropriate for you, but it didn't force me to be on bed rest or anything like that. That is what really inspired my drive for pregnancy chiropractic, was having both of my kids during school.
Yeah. So how old are your children and how many years apart are they?
I have 2 little boys, 4 and 2.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, you are pretty much like right along the same path that I am with Rosie and Isaac. So Rosie just turned 4 and Isaac is going to be 2 in January. So it's crazy because like it was all kind of during the pandemic and whatnot too, and
Yes.
just like so many different factors. But I too, like how you said, like I had a pretty fairly good pregnancy with both of them. I believe I was a little bit more like morning sickness and things and such with Rosie, but I was going and seeing a chiropractor. Like it was one of those things when I was, researching or looking like what to do or how to have, the best pregnancy or, like checking off all the checklists. Chiropractic care was brought up to me and I had just gone and done it as one of those things. And it was something that I had done with both of them. And so I don't know what pregnancy is like without chiropractic care.
Awesome. Love that.
So I don't have anything to compare it to, but I definitely feel like it was a factor, even if it was kind of like also going to the appointments and staying on top of everything and like knowing that there was somebody there like adjusting me and seeing, like where I was at or like where I was having more issues. There was just like so many different components of it that I really enjoyed. And so like where is it different between general chiropractic care and when you're dealing with a pregnant mama?
So in chiropractic, most pregnant moms have heard the term of Webster care or the Webster technique. That's kind of like the gold standard for pregnancy chiropractic care. And the goal of it is to balance the bones, muscles, and ligaments of the pelvis to allow for a safer and easier birth. All chiropractic is awesome during pregnancy. You still want the rest of your spine adjusted because it's all connected. Sometimes a problem up high can be causing issues down low, and you definitely don't want that during pregnancy. But you also do want to focus on the pelvis to make sure that the pelvic bowl is optimized. It's all about power and passage and passenger. So power, your uterus is powered by nerves. And that's what chiropractic is all about. You want that proper nerve flow to your uterus so that it can contract when you have your baby. Passage, you want the shape of your pelvic bowl to be properly aligned so that you don't run into any dystocia or any other issues with baby exiting through the pelvis. And then the passenger is the baby. And you want the uterus to not have any kind of torque from round ligament tension on either side. If you think of a hot air balloon, you have your 2 round ligaments hanging off of it. If one side has more tension, you can imagine how that moves your uterus around, and then baby's not in the ideal position of how they could be. So those are really the key components to getting Webster care during pregnancy.
Yeah, I think when I had initially like thought of chiropractic care, I had always considered, I guess, like the more traditional, like real bone cracking and like uncomfortable positions or like loud cracking and things like that. And I think when I had started it myself and realized, like it's actually not that bad. And she had used what is that tool called?
Probably like an activator or an integrator. There's a bunch of different ones.
Yeah. So she had used one of those and I was like, this isn't
the little
bad
clicky thing.
Yeah. And I was like, this isn't bad at all. And like, there was no like major bones cracking and things like that. It's like little minor shifts that you feel like, oh, like this isn't possibly doing anything. And then after an adjustment, you can really feel that change. And I remember the first time I needed to drink a whole bunch of water and like make sure I was like hydrating myself because of the shift that was going on when I had gotten adjusted. And then the really cool pregnancy pillows, of course. So like, I was also like, how are we right? Like, it's like, how are we going to lay on the table when my belly gets so big? And, you know, you whip out the big pillows and it's like so much is thought out and there's just so much there. But the round ligament, that was one thing that I loved having worked on, and really just pressing into there and like moving my legs around. So that was another component of like chiropractic care that like, I didn't know that that's what a chiropractor would do and what it would look like. And so I think it's really cool. And like you share, you know, videos and clips and stuff of like, actually doing the work. And I think just raising awareness of that and seeing like, okay, like this is what it's going to look like when you go in, or this is what it's going to be like. And especially because you do home visits as well. And like, you're able to like be there with them, you know, in the comfort of their own home. What is that kind of like? And like, can you kind of go into how you're able to also adjust while they're in labor potentially, and what that would kind of be like?
Absolutely. I like to post videos of what I'm doing, whether it's in the office or at home, as much video I can get if I'm in somebody else's home, or like sometimes, of course, like we'll stage it with a friend or something, but that way somebody can get an idea of like, okay, this person that I've seen pictures and videos of is going to come into my house, and like, my house is a mess. Like, me too. I have 2 little kids. It is okay. We're here to get you adjusted and make sure your body's optimized. I do not care if your house is clean. My house probably isn't most of the time either. So that way they can get a feel for who I am, what it's going to be like, what to expect. It can be as quick, or I mean, of course, sometimes you talk and it gets a little bit drug out, and like, that's just kind of like the nature of a home visit. It's supposed to be comfortable for you. It eliminates the hassle of packing up all of your kids. And when they're little, they scream in the car sometimes, like somebody's unhappy or throwing something or poking somebody. So it just eliminates all of that. And normally when you have a stranger coming into your house, the kids are a little bit more like, whoa, who's this? Until they get used to you after a couple of times. So that also helps mom be able to enjoy getting adjusted, because the kids are kind of like, what's happening? It's basically the same as when you would go to a chiropractic office, but instead I come to you. My table's super light, portable. I bring my table, I bring my instrument, I bring the pillows. We set up wherever is preferred for you, whether it's the living room, the entryway, like the front room, like wherever. So that's what it's like. I have a little pin on my Instagram profile. So I have a video of what a home visit is like, and you can kind of get the full effect of like answering the door. I come in, set up the table, we talk, you get adjusted, I head out. It's almost the same as an office. And then when a mom is in labor, that's always super fun. It's so interesting to be involved in, and just like the different things you see when a mom is in labor, especially if you've been seeing them throughout their entire pregnancy and then adjusting them in labor, things will just be so different. And yes, it's important about the nervous system and making sure everything is aligned so that the nerves can function and all of that. But there's so much of a mental component too. Sometimes you'll see a mom, like there's just still something there where she needs to have some kind of emotional release or let something go to be able to progress and finish bringing that baby earthside. That's definitely different every time. Sometimes the mom can lay down on the table. That can be hard through a contraction, or sometimes you have to stop. She might have to get up. She can get on the table and lay down pregnancy pillows. That's great. We can make the most out of that. And that's honestly like the ideal situation. But there are different things you can do with somebody standing if they can't lay down, because I remember being in labor, laying down would have been very, very uncomfortable. But especially if I get a call from a midwife where they're not already a practice member, they're kind of pulling all the cards, trying to avoid going to the hospital. So they're like, I will do whatever you need me to do because I don't want to go to the hospital. So let's see if getting an adjustment can help. And I can think of one midwife. I got a phone call. I didn't realize she was part of a larger practice. And I ended up going over there on a Friday when I'm not open. One of the nurses played with my kids in their playroom. The mom was like, I don't care. I just want adjusted. My chiropractor can't come, doesn't do house calls. Please, like, we need somebody to come. And she'd been in labor for like 10 hours, and she ended up having the baby about 6-7 hours after I adjusted her. So it's incredible. And it's totally her like releasing the power of her body to be able to do that.
Yeah. Can you kind of talk about that like emotional release and like what you mean by like a release of the body?
Absolutely. Chiropractic is thought of as like neck pain, back pain, and it's just so much more than that. So just like how you think about body, mind, spirit, there's those three components. In chiropractic, we also have those three components. It's thoughts, traumas, and toxins. So we're only going to talk about thoughts because that's where all of that ties in. If you're having a bad day, like you're having really negative thoughts and like it's just negative, you just go down this rabbit hole and you really have to like actively pull yourself out of that. If you read the Bible, you can read a verse that says, as a man thinks, so he is. There's so much of it is true, whatever way you want to look at that. And what you're thinking is what becomes your reality. So if you're scared about having the baby, whether it be the actual birth, if you're scared about something that's going to happen after, of how that's going to change your family dynamic, there's so many things that could be going through a mom's head. And you have to address that mental aspect because it's arguably the most important aspect in health for all people. Sometimes somebody will get adjusted and they'll just start crying and they won't even really be able to explain it. And that's totally okay. It doesn't really need explained. That happened at one of the births I was at. She started crying after, and I guess she'd had a couple of similar experiences with them doing inversion and different things, trying to get the baby to move around and drop and be born. So I'm always expecting it. So it never surprises me. But if you haven't been trained that could happen, I feel like that could kind of frighten you, honestly. But that release is good. You want to see that emotion come out and be released from the body and get rid of that tension.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. Like I personally have not had quite like an experience like that, but I have met people and like heard different stories about that kind of stuff happening and really like that shift that can go on when you're getting adjusted. And so it's really kind of like magical and like it's a holistic approach of really kind of navigating, what's going on and how you and your baby are connecting and just bringing up like you said, like just like different thoughts and triggers and things and stuff. And I think there's so much to it that like we still are learning and still uncovering, which is really cool. But do you have any kind of like I guess like your personal experience or like things that you're like continuing to learn, like even though you're out of school when it comes to chiropractics that like shaped and shifted in like the chiropractic world?
I laugh a little bit because there's so much. Like I will continually for the rest of my life be going to seminars and learning different things and new things because school gives you like, they told us in school, like you learn the basics to not cause harm and to become good at anything or build on that. There's a lifetime of learning left on that. I know even like Webster has kind of evolved over time to really compose those three different components, the bone, muscle, and ligament. And I'm thankful that I was able to go to that seminar while I was in school because I learned all about it. And you see different people practicing, not that any of it's wrong, but if they haven't been to a seminar in a couple of years, it doesn't hurt to go for a refresher. You can grab a book that you love to read that's about whatever topic. If you read it again in 6 months, you're going to highlight new things out of it and get new things out of it. You could read that book 100 times in your lifetime and get something new out of it. And the same thing goes to chiropractic. So even if you go to another seminar, things are going to change. They're going to update you like new and better practices. It's not like it's there's not too many things I've heard about where it's like, this is wrong now. I can't even think of anything like that that's happened, but it's just being built upon and evolved and giving you new techniques and information to use, because there's always that part of the body and life and health that you never really understand, and we probably won't, nor does it really need to be. And that's what we call in chiropractic urinate. Our bodies know how to heal up cuts and how to keep us alive. You have innate responses to sickness. That's why you get diarrhea sometimes or throw up. Your body's trying to get rid of those things. Your body innately wants to keep you alive and is going to do whatever it has to do to keep you alive. So there's some component of that we're never going to understand, but doing everything we can to help innate is really what chiropractic is all about.
That's awesome. So, I mean, like, obviously, like you just said, like going to webinars and things like that, like what other community aspects have you been involved with or you like? And then definitely I want to talk on how you are also local to the Greenville area. So anybody that's listening and is local, they can reach out to you. But you have been working on gathering all of us doulas and kind of doing a little interview with all of us in this doula diaries. So can you kind of talk about like where that originated and how that started and what you've been doing with that so far?
Absolutely. So there's a chiropractor who graduated from Sherman a few years before me, and he's now married. His wife reached out to me and was asking me about different doula options. And when I go to answer her, I'm like, I've met with so many fabulous doulas, and I have like a little spreadsheet with things we've talked about and their specialties and things they like to do or other services they offer. But to be able to share that with either her or a practice member, like, hey, here's my spreadsheet, not super catchy or cute. So I realized I needed to come up with some better way to do that. And something I've always liked doing is interviewing other business owners. So it's like, perfect. Why not interview all of the doulas and make it a series? So that way, when in the Crunchy Greenville Mom group, when people are asking for doulas or anywhere else, when somebody's asking for a doula, everybody doesn't just be like, oh, use the search tab. And you have to go in and be like, doula, like read all the posts, find the name, write down the name, phone number, look up their Instagram, and then call all of them or research them. You can go look at my video collection on YouTube. It's under my live videos. You'll see all of the videos under the live videos right now are from the doula diaries. So you can go and watch anywhere from like, they range from like 10 to 15 minutes from each doula. And we ask the same questions to everybody, asking specialties. Do you like home birth? Do you like hospital? What are other services you offer? Maybe you only do postpartum. It can give moms an idea of who they're going to vibe with and what to expect. Or like, maybe they don't want postpartum care. Maybe they only want a doula to be there helping them like during pregnancy and in labor. And it can give them a feel for who's going to be a good fit for them, instead of just having to pull recommendations from everywhere and it be more work, because I'm sure we all already have enough things to do. And a lot of moms already have other kids. So there's enough going on there. So just trying to make that a resource for moms to be able to find all of our doulas. And if you're a doula and you're listening to this, I would love to have you on. You can send me a message on Instagram. I have a Calendly link where you sign up. It's super low key. It's not stressful at all. If you're nervous about interviewing, like I send you the questions beforehand and you're essentially just talking about your doula business so that other moms can find you.
Yeah, I love it. And it's something that even I have, recommended, because I think it's important to find a doula that you connect with and that you really relate to, and maybe potentially is doing something that is in like what you're looking for. Like if you're specifically looking for like an unmedicated home birth, there can be a doula for you. Like I specifically love VBAC moms. Like that is my jam. Like I think each of us have like our own little, avenue that we really enjoy the most. And I think our personalities are able to come through in those videos. I think it like allows you to almost, see what they're like before you have to like go and meet them in person. And I think it gives you that opportunity to really get to know us. So like I have been, telling all the doulas in the area to get on there. I have been like suggesting other people that are looking for doulas, that maybe I don't want to say like I don't feel like aligned with, but like I might not have availability, like it's just it's such an amazing resource, and I really like it and enjoy it, and I'm excited to see like how that expands upon and what goes on there. But what else are you up to, and what else are you doing? What do you have going on? And give us some details with that.
Most of my life is chiropractic. I love chiropractic. And when you, like I said a little bit earlier, when you graduate, that's just the basis and you really have to grow from there. And there's so many other components. Like, of course, you're a chiropractor, but if you have your own business, you're also running the business and every other aspect of that. you know what that's like as a doula. So there's just so many other things that go into that, and it can kind of be all consuming, but I'm obsessed with it. So that's totally okay with me right now. I have 2 little boys. Preston is 4 and Bear is 2. So if you have little kids, you already know what that's like. If I'm home with them, I'm home with them. We like to be outside. With the seasons finally starting to change a little bit, we love to go hiking and get outside and adventure. Being outside as much as possible is our favorite. I love to work out. I'm trying to really build that into my life. It was in my life before I had kids, and then kids, going through a doctorate program, just having a life, it's a lot to make a priority for. So that's been my new focus lately, is really making that a priority. And I love to read. So just books to make yourself a better business owner, make yourself a better person, and be able to communicate with people. That's my life right now. And then traveling is also really fun. So you always have to build in some time to reward yourself for all of your hard work. And it doesn't have to be extravagant. Even if you just want to do like a little staycation, like make that time for family only and going and adventuring and doing whatever you like to do. You really have to do that too, to keep everything alive and well within you.
Yeah. Do you have any good books that you've recently read?
Let's see. I feel like it's super popular, a lot of people know about it, is The Body Keeps the Score. Something I'd read pieces of it, put it down, pick it up. So I finally finished it. I'm reading more about how emotion is stored in the body and can cause physical problems. That's really all I have right now. There's like some other books about like building wealth and how to handle money that I want to order. And then there's somebody told me about, whoever wrote the book about like either 4th trimester nutrition. There's one for like fertility health, and I would like to read that because nutrition is the basis of your body functioning. So making sure you're really fueling that is also really important to me.
Awesome. I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing, your entrance into motherhood, all about chiropractic and what you're doing in the community and whatnot. So where can we reach you, get in contact with you, and where do you mostly hang out?
So I have my website, mobilemamachiropractic.com. I have Instagram, Mobile Mama Chiro. I have a Facebook business page. I'm on Facebook too. My personal Instagram is Dr. Kristin Marlowe. I'll let you tag that somewhere because my name's spelled a little bit differently. So those are all of the ways to get in touch with me. If you shoot me a message on any of those platforms, I'll get back to you. And let's see, where do I hang out? So I live in Greer, and we love the pool in our neighborhood. That's our hangout spot right now, but that's about to come to an end. Jeter Mountain Farms up in Hendersonville is one of my favorite places because you can go and they have this massive play area that your kids will love. You can grab a coffee and like enjoy the beautiful temperature and let your kids play, and then go walk around their 400 acres. And then if you want to pick apples, you can do that too. Hiking anywhere off of the Blue Ridge Parkway. All of those places are my favorite.
That's awesome. I'll have to check out that one place. I haven't heard of that.
Oh gosh, you'll love it. Your kids will love it too.
Yeah, I'll be sure to list like everything in the show notes, and everybody can grab that information and look there. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome. I love this. Everybody needs to experience chiropractic. It's great for your whole entire life. It's awesome during pregnancy. It's even better preconception. And moms that are really hung up on, oh, I don't know if I want to spend that money on myself, or I don't know if I want to do that for myself. It's really not about you anymore. It's all about the baby. Your baby is growing inside of you, and their brain is developing, and your health is directly impacting their health and their future health. So find a chiropractor that you love and make sure you get checked and optimize your health.
Awesome. Cool.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, mamas, so much for listening. Remember, you are a rock star. I believe in you. Let's doula this. Let's crank it up a notch and let's kick it into high gear together. Hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, message me, email me, call me, beat me. You know how to reach me. We're doing this, mamas. I am so excited to catch you here next week. This is your one-stop go-to place for helping you find the resources you need to make the best choices for you and your family during pregnancy, birth, and most importantly, postpartum. See you later, mamas.